The year was 1994. Popular director James Cameron just had his new film True Lies go into theaters. He had just come up with a new idea for a film, which at the time he had titled Project 880. He had no idea who else would see this or what this film would later become.
Jet, put in exhaust and flying papers and things like that. All sorts of cut and paste techniques that you could never do before. So now you approach it differently. You're not doing a lot of model shots, which always look kind of half fake. If you don't have a project in the door to drive it, you're not going to do all the R&D necessary. So, my takeaway from it was, you got to have a CG project to improve the CG. And Avatar couldn't be that project, because if we tried it, we wouldn't be able to complete within the cycle of a single movie all of the stuff that we needed to do. There needed to be movies in between. But I knew CG wasn't going to stop advancing. All the other companies were going to continue to push, and all the other directors were going to continue to push those companies. So I knew it was only a matter of time before it became mature enough as an art that we could begin the Avatar process.
The first Avatar-related material, written by James Cameron, is an 80-page script entitled Project 880. Project 880 is very similar to what we eventually got in the 2009 film Avatar. There are also differences, however, including the main character's name being Josh Sully instead of Jake Sully, which is what it was in the final product. Other examples of differences include script-exclusive characters, and even the basic concept for the Avatar species is different. You can read the entire Project 880 script on the Project 880 page on the Avatar Wiki, which I have linked in the description for your personal enjoyment. The Project 880 script was going to be made into a movie and filmed in 1997, after the release of James Cameron's hit blockbuster film, Titanic. This incarnation of the film was going to be set to release in 1999. It did not release in 1999, however, as we now know, because James Cameron decided to put the production of the film on hold after realizing that the current technology would not work for what he envisioned for his film, and he wanted to wait for the technology to catch up before he created what is now known as Avatar. Though the Project 880 script does have many differences from what the final film became, it is the beginning of what we now know as Avatar. In fall of 2005, James Cameron decided to finally start pre-production on Avatar. It was nearly 8 years after he originally developed the Project 880 script, but he thought that it was finally time for the filmmaking world to see his ideas come to screen. He was convinced that the technology was up to date after seeing Peter Jackson's King Kong and Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings saga, which both were released in the early 2000s. Around this time, he changed the name from Project 880 to Avatar, and he also began designing the alien creatures and their world, and he even hired a language expert to help him create the Na'vi dialect, which was used in the film. He continued to work on Avatar into 2006. He wanted to fully establish the fictional universe of his film to make it feel natural and not like something that was made up for the movie. He did this by fully mapping out the fictional world of Pandora and putting care into every detail of this film, making it feel like something straight out of a documentary instead of a fictional universe. He worked on his screenplay, trying to fully perfect it before he began casting and shooting this project sometime in 2006, when he fully completed his script and he was given a budget of $237 million provided by 20th Century Fox. Sam Worthington was cast as the main character, and other actors included Sigourney Weaver, Michelle Rodriguez, and Joel David Moore. This movie is known for the amazing effects and CGI in it. It is also one of the first films to make extensive use of the motion capture technology. It is one of the first films of the late 2000s and early 2010s to bring back 3D. It was released in many 3D formats, including the Real 3D, Colby 3D, Expand 3D, and IMAX 3D formats. James Cameron was able to perfect these 3D filming techniques after experimenting with them in documentary projects such as Ghosts of the Abyss and Aliens of the Deep. Avatar premiered on December 10th of 2009 in London and was later released on December 18th, 2009 in the US. After Avatar was officially released in 2009, it immediately had effects on cinema as we know it. Though people might not have known it at the time, Avatar would pave the way for just how much studios use computer-generated special effects in movies today. It is also a driving force for the 3D craze of the 2010s. For at least a few years in the beginning of the 2010s, every movie was in 3D. It was also the highest-grossing film of all time for almost 10 years, with over $2.5 billion in ticket sales. But in summer of 2019, it was finally taken over by Avengers Endgame. Although James Cameron has expressed his desire to make sequels to Avatar, there are currently no sequels. However, there is a franchise of 3 sequels in the works, the first one of which is set to come out in 2021. Even though it's almost been 11 years since the first Avatar film was released, James Cameron still has faith that his series of sequels will do well in theaters, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if we can get to 40 subs, that would be very great. So, yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and have a nice day. Bye.